new podcast is live.
The Beyond the Craft podcast.
Yes, and
First
it's about my and Saron's matchmaking agency.
Yeah.
It's all about the lessons we learned as entrepreneurs.
That's right. It was a very fun session.
It was fun. I was laughing a lot.
We learned a lot, especially Kevin and I, and we also laughed a lot.
Yeah.
And Lotte and Saron were, of course, our first ever guests, so they were our crash test dummies.
Yeah.
And as you'll notice, we keep talking about it, but we forgot to plug in the microphone, but we'll live that down for the rest of our lives. But I hope you enjoy the episode as much as we enjoyed making it.
Yeah.
And also thanks to Bob at Burton for the use of his lovely little, I don't know what it was, bar, restaurant.
Yeah, it was a nice place in Utrecht.
Great little setting in Utrecht.
So thanks a lot, guys, that were your first guest.
No problem at all. And give us your feedback too.
So the first question we had, actually, we were trying to do a little bit of research on the both of you. So we went into the, is it dating or DTNG?
DTNG.
DTNG website. And found out we could not access it.
No, because we're on holidays.
Yeah.
The banner is gone today.
The banner's gone today, but this is something we spoke about. We would be way too scared.
Oh, yeah. We did this for the first time with last Christmas. We did it for the first time. Really? Because we were on holiday and we thought let's try. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't miss any client because when you leave the banner, everybody's attending again. So you just, they just show up after holidays.
Even some of them even mentioned to just send an email. Yeah. Like, hey, I saw the banner, but I still want to leave my contact for after you're back. Do you have some information? We had, I think at 3.
We had 5 in total.
Yeah.
Maybe create that FOMO a little bit. Maybe there's something to do on that one. Because I didn't even have an out of office and I was out for 6 weeks.
Oh,
just in case. I bounced back and somebody thought I can't get Keith. So kudos to you guys on that one. How did it feel when you first put it on in December? Actually?
Scary. Very scary. Yeah. We've been talking about it for weeks. Should we do it or not?
But I was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And
I was in Bali. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course you were. That's right, we were there with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, but it must have felt quite liberating actually.
Yeah. It feels much better.
Yeah. I mean, people need clarity. So when they know that there's just no one there, especially also for the clients that we already have, like, hey, we are out. We have a holiday. You can't call, you can't email, you can't do anything. See you when I'm back.
So, but they will still text you because I had texts.
Oh, mine didn't.
Oh, they did, but only the positive news. I got from 3 clients. Okay, I just have to share. You don't have to respond. But it was so nice to date.
Yeah.
Really? I
I just want to thank you. Yeah, there were many dates.
Many?
Yeah, many days during our holidays.
Yeah. I think I had scheduled 8.
Yeah.
8, yeah.
You guys are busy then, right?
Yeah.
Dive into that. I think...
big business.
I had a question on...
No, I get really anxious when I go on holiday. I can't even put my out of office.
No.
Because if something happens, what's not going to be able to I guess it's different sort of industry thing, but I need to be able to sort of check in and people to feel like they can reach me anytime. Yeah, obviously very different business, but I thought it was quite bold because we were trying to reach onto your website yesterday just to find out more information. And I thought it was
not accessible.
Yeah.
What's going on? They are too successful. They're just closed. They just closed the office.
Well, we're laughing about that, but I think that we reached the point of where we are kind of comfortable with our clients. That makes it easier to do this anyway, because if you're still building, you don't want to miss any client. And right now we are they come back.
Yeah, we're comfortable. Yeah, we're confident. Yeah. And I think we're always available for our clients. So they text us every day, call us. We do lots of coffees with clients. Yeah. So they say you deserve your holiday. So they know we are working really hard.
Yeah.
So they're okay with it. Yeah.
They find it even more normal that we go on a holiday than we do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So just go.
Of course you go on holiday. Of course you don't answer your email. Of course you don't take your laptop with me.
Or maybe they're like-minded people though.
We work with lots of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They understand.
We need to show off every now and then.
Yeah.
By the signs, but now you can't show off any of these things.
No, I was just going to say just when I left Scotland, my wife is addicted to Love is Blind at the moment.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that doesn't know.
Yes.
It is actually Love is Blind,
it's like
show.
Just a screen.
You have the UK version now. I'm watching that one.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, I saw the hunk of that show is actually single still. So
okay, she's still single.
No, I immediately added him on Instagram. I actually, because he's living in London, and I said like, I hope that everything works out through the show. If not, it's a really close swim to Amsterdam.
Did you get something back?
No, not yet.
Wait to see how the show goes first.
I heard it a while.
And I think for the listeners, then this is a question I want to ask. Instead of kind of introducing yourself, can you describe to us exactly what is it you both do?
Okay. So we have 2 matchmaking agencies. So it's like recruitment, finding people a job, but we find love for our clients. And it's offline. So I remember when I started in 2016 that my old boss, because I was working for an online marketing agency, and he said, like, the whole world is going online and you start an offline matchmaking agency. Are you crazy? And the funny thing is that nowadays people are fed up with online dating apps and really like the personal touch we have. So we do everything offline. So we see people at their homes. We write a personal profile. We organize a photo shoot. We introduce match proposals. We organize the date. We make reservations. We do evaluations, some coaching. So it's all very personal. And I think nowadays we live in a time that people are really looking forward to have a personal touch again and not like the swipe culture.
The swipe culture is dying a death, or is it
it's on
a generational thing?
I think it's on his return. Yeah.
It's on his return?
Yeah.
Why do you think that's happening, guys?
Because our clients are getting younger and younger and younger. And that used to be the group that really did the online dating. Swiping themselves, like from that culture, picking their own candidates, going on multiple dates, like sometimes 100, even more. To really figure out what they want in life and what they're looking for. And I think the clients that I work with now, they're so fed up with going on all these dates and still don't know, like, what do I want? Because they keep on going on, like, somehow the same dates. They pick up, like, the same person over and over again and then figure out, okay, this doesn't work. And then they split up. And then they go on a dating app again. And then they pick out someone with the same characteristics, same look, same faults, everything. And then they're going to try again. And then it doesn't work. I think the most thing that I do, especially, is that I try to keep them, like, on a new track. Like, looking like, what are you looking for in love? Like, what does actually suit you in long term? Not just now. Also advising them a little bit on, like, how your brain works when you fall in love. Why do you pick someone based on several things? Like, does that come from how you've grew up? Like, does someone look like your mom or your dad? Or like all these kind of things. It's really deep. You
both have psychology background.
Yes.
So that really comes in very useful when you're
absolutely.
Do they fight against it though? I mean, you say they have like hundreds of dates and they go down the same hole every time, but how is it when you try to steer them in? What's the pushback like on that?
I think a lot of our clients, they come to us with actually that question. So they do have the question like, okay, I tried everything. I really want to find a relationship. I want to find that partner. I can't do it my own way. Please help me. I'm doing something wrong. And those clients are actually very comfortable with them steering the right direction. And sometimes they do resist, but then I think that's also our job to say like, hey, you came to us for a reason. So,
but sometimes they just don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. Then we organize a date because we look at the personality, but of course also at the looks. And then we find somebody who is like maybe a little bit different in looks than they normally date. And the clients who we match successfully are the clients who are open for new match proposals. So who are open for someone who looks maybe a little bit different than they expected. But we also have clients who keep on rejecting based on pictures. And then we think like, just stay on the dating app, right?
Keep on Tinder.
It's cheaper and you can swipe.
Very expensive.
You come to us.
That's something that we saw yesterday. I mean, we did our research a little bit. We're reading these Forbes articles. We were talking about whether physical attractiveness is still like a big deal. It's a big factor. Whether
that was an icebreaker, whether people are more, especially more wealthy people, are more interested in sort of like, you know, people's appearance and them looking after themselves. Educational perspective, is that something nice then?
The physical aspect is the most difficult part of it. When I started, I felt like I was a headhunter, so I could find a job for people. But then to look for like physical attraction and chemistry between two people, I think I needed years to see it. No, really. Yeah. Now I think, if I talk for myself, but I think also for you, is I really can see if two people find each other attractive. Like if two people...
If they're compatible to each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you see that? I mean,
because we have made so many matches. You can say, like, if you have an interview with us, we have an intake, and you can tell us, of course, what you like physical appearance. Yeah. And then we have like a big picture of you. And then we can think, you're looking for that kind of person with that physical features. We make a good match for you, also on the physical base.
You know that show Married at First Sight?
Yeah. Of course. Binged.
Again,
binged every country, every episode.
It started in Australia, right?
Yeah.
The Australian one's
I mean, loved
Australia is more like a soap now, but I love it.
During COVID, I watched it all the time.
Oh my God,
But then, so when you guys like match people, do you kind of sit back and coach them through a relationship? How does it work? Do you just let go, or do you just sort of like sit back, or do you naturally sort of just come on board and give them some?
We are constantly in touch with our clients. So we organize the date, and the day after we call with both candidates to see like how, and it can be very different. Yeah. Like somebody really likes and the other one's like, okay, I knew it straight away. It's not going to happen. And that's always funny. It can be really different. And then of course, if there's a good fit after the first date, people also have questions during the dating process because they become insecure or like old patterns come along. So then we're more like dating coaches for them. And I always say like we're matchmakers, dating coaches, but also we are a PA for our clients because we organize everything. We are just there for some advice. Also like what should I wear? What does he like? Yeah. Even I think your client went to a hair cutter and shopping and really to help people feel more comfortable and confident.
Really invested in it, which is really from your side.
Yeah.
You might get some people just rock up after work and don't care, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you have to go to the hairdresser?
No. I mean, actually, I brought a card with me when I went here. It's a birth card. Yeah. Do you say it like that? That someone has been born?
Someone's given.
Well, that's actually the kid of the guy that she's talking about, because he came at our office with no experience in dating. Was like 35-ish and like always been very focused on study, on career, and never been like in contact with girls in that way. Yeah. And then when you become older, it gets more difficult when you don't have experience, because women do expect men to be experienced in all kind of areas.
Oh, really?
They do, okay. All kind of areas.
Especially our clients.
Because they dated a lot.
High standards.
So, and he didn't have any experience, but he was such a nice, sweet guy. And I think normally I would not really easy attract a client like that, because I knew that it was going to be a little bit difficult, because I had to learn him everything. I even had to learn him how to flirt. And I love to do these kind of things.
That's a difficult thing to do, right?
It is, but he could practice on me, and I would give him like feedback on what he's doing and what that kind of does to me.
Did you go with him on a fake date?
Yeah.
Yes, right? Yeah.
I did, We had lots of fun, because we were like very, very comfortable around each other, and there was like coaching session 4. So he already knew me, and he knew that it wasn't like a real date. So we had like lots of fun, but I did give him good advice. And then after that, he went on a real date with a woman, which was good. Wasn't the love of his life, but he had a really good experience, which made him build a lot of confidence. And then I introduced him to the next one. Yeah. And she actually replied on his profile on our website, because we also do that. Yeah. She replied on his profile like, hey, I do see a lot of similarities to what I'm looking for. Maybe this could be my match. So I saw her at the office, and I thought, well, let's try. I mean, they do have a lot of similarities, and she was very aware of the fact that he didn't have any experience. So she was really okay with that. Mm-hmm. And they just got a baby.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, right?
I think I matched them like exactly a year ago, like August 2023. Yeah. And they went on their first date in September. Yeah. So it really went fast.
And the very nice part is then he called you like, I'm becoming a father. Like they are calling us also with this kind of information.
His parents didn't even knew.
Yeah, it's really special.
He said like, you are the first one I want to share this with because you did this. And I want to thank you so much. I mean,
what's the name? No, it's a boy.
It's a boy. Yeah. No, it's not so.
No. But we did this more often, the tryout dates. Like also my father is also a matchmaker in the office.
Yes.
He's 76 already, but he really loves doing it. And then he had a new client also with not so much dating experience. Yeah. So my mother went on a tryout date with him. No, that's maybe...
proposal, was it?
It's really funny. And then she was there sitting in a restaurant and she said, no, you can order the wine and you can maybe, how do you say she helps him, like you pick the wine, ask me some questions, and if I ask you a question, no, you can ask me something back, because that's the part men have to learn. They forgot to ask questions. When men are nervous, they do a pitch about their company, but they don't ask questions. And a woman really wants a man to be interested in her. Yeah, so we really help men to ask questions.
That's a good little tip.
Like be a good, like active listener.
Yeah.
Like listen to what she's saying, just pick out like a few details and then ask further questions on that. And then you have like a whole conversation. It's not that hard. Yeah. You just really have to listen.
Yeah, but like I said, but these guys are just inexperienced in dating.
But it's a common thing.
Maybe there's a lot of alcohol involved when you're doing the Tinder dates and things like that. It's a little easier, but when you're just one-on-one and you've actually gone to the effort of setting up an actual date and you're sitting across from somebody, I mean, that can be quite scary. I don't ever consider like that.
And for our clients, it feels different to go on a date through us than go on a Tinder date, because they really feel like, okay, matchmakers actually introduce this person, so this could be potentially the love of my life. So now I really have to step up my game. I can't screw this up. So it really feels more like more pressure, more serious. And that makes them also sometimes a little bit anxious, a little bit uncomfortable. So
what's your thoughts on like touch? You think there should be a touching point, like on the first date, like just touch shoulder, touch the
Well, that the guy should be touching. I mean, like 6-point touch. Six times. How do you do that on a first date?
Like I have to go to the toilet. I like to drink something else.
What about like that?
Like on the hands, like I take the bill.
That's date 5. No. Don't go straight for the bum.
No.
Let's go.
Now, for example, I actually had a date myself last week, and the guy was like sitting like very far away from me and like not like being able to touch me. And I really felt that there was no connection between us, even though we had a good conversation. It felt like you're not interested in me because you can't just touch my knee or touch my shoulder or just do this. You know, right? You have to feel the spot
and how it
energy.
Feels. Exactly.
And even though he was very, very handsome, we had a good conversation, I didn't feel anything because I just really missed that connection.
But that's because of the distance between you.
I actually did myself. I touched his knee. I was like, let's just try to figure out.
You have to see if it's reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
Is that not like one of these little, what is it? Like, I don't know if it's a trigger or something. Like if you were to touch the girl on the knee, if she's into you, then she would reciprocate,
exactly.
If she doesn't, then you know, okay,
it's a sign.
This is not going anywhere.
So I don't think that he likes me. But that's fine. It's fine.
I used to be like a total introverted geek. I would just geek. I just never wanted to speak to anyone. Like I just wanted to like lock myself away from my headphones on. The thought of ever going on my first date and having to touch like another lady, like, you know, but my back would go stiff, I'd go tense, I could go rigid, my eyes line would just be all over the shop, you know, I'd just be like, horrible. That would be like my worst nightmare. Do you find that like your clients are quite extroverted, or do you have like
both?
Like, how does that kind of balance work, and how do you sort of approach, you know, extroverts and introverts?
It's the best. The ideal combination is like one more introverted, the other one a little bit more extroverted. Because then you have a good balance between the two personalities.
We do have like really introverted clients, and we do have very extroverted clients. So there's not really a big difference in the people that approach us for a service. It's not that they're all shy. Like, hell no.
But they can be a little bit insecure.
Sometimes,
also after experiences or like bad dating
Sometimes they're more insecure that they let us.
Yeah, but I suppose I say a lot of entrepreneurs and maybe high net worth individuals are used to putting on a facade. Right?
Yes.
Really, a lot.
That must be quite hard for them to trust people as well, because we also read that if you have that kind of wealth or fame, you feel people are only after you for one thing.
Exactly.
You can propel them into that world, or you can help them, but they don't get it the other way around. So it must be hard.
Especially men on a certain level, they experience that women only go for their money, right, or status.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
and they come to us and we don't have gold diggers. I mean, our clients, our women, also have a career and earn their own money, so they don't need a man.
To take care of them financially.
No.
How do you guys qualify your clients? Do you vet that, or do you just engage with them on that sort of plan? What's the process?
Oh, we say no. A lot of times, yes. That's why we still do the first intake free of charge, because we want to be honest if we can help somebody.
Yeah, and it's not like you do have a lot of money, so let's go. No. I mean, people have to be really prepared to go into this process with us.
Exactly.
They also have to trust us. Yeah. And if we feel it's not a match, then we don't do it.
Exactly. And some criteria are, is somebody ready for a new relationship? Because sometimes they're still in some sort of sadness about their breakup, or just looking for like some...
Sometimes they're not even in a breakup.
Or they're still in a marriage. And they didn't tell. It happens once. Yeah, that's terrible. But also, like, if, for example, a woman wants to meet a man 10 years younger, we cannot hire her. Because our men also like a woman to be a little bit younger. If a woman wants the man 10 years younger, we cannot make that puzzle. No. Yeah.
And if a man wants a woman like 30 years younger, we also don't do it.
Exactly.
Was Leonardo DiCaprio a client? Is he?
We have to say no to him. Can you imagine?
I would say yes.
You would say yes. Okay, there is a really big gray area.
Yeah, a lot of coffee dates.
Oh, yes. Some evaluations.
Actually, I have a question. It just kind of ties in with that. A client is unethical, but they're one of your biggest billing. What would you do?
If they are unethical.
If they're unethical, but they're one of your biggest paying or highest paying.
Well, I think it's really easy because our clients pay us in front of the service. Yeah. So once they have paid, they have paid. And if they don't behave, we have a really good privacy statement and a very good
terms and conditions
that we have with our clients. They sign it. So like when they do really bad things on dates, been very rude, then it's just goodbye. Yeah. And sometimes we warn them. I experienced one time that people went around my back looking for the other one on LinkedIn and then going on a date behind our backs. Yeah. That's just not how we work. So I had to warn her to okay, just don't ever do this again, because you actually signed up for being very respectful, not only to us, but also to that client, because maybe that client didn't want her to reach out that way. He addressed us as a service for privacy. Yeah. So it's, we are very strict on that.
Are there any red flags when you're qualifying people? When you're doing that process, is there like an immediate kind of goal?
Yeah, there's like this feeling you have about a person, right? It's like intuition. Sometimes you feel like she's not ready, or he's not ready, or he's not really respectful. Right. Because you also have some men on the top who are a little bit narcissistic, right? Yeah. And it's not easy to work with. And especially for our women, it's not nice to organize dates for them with a guy who's really not a good guy. Yeah. So, but most of the time you can feel it in the first interview.
And how do they take it when you say no? Because I can imagine a lot of these people are not used to rejection and that.
I think they're okay, right? Because we also always have a good argument to reject them. Yeah.
And also, and it's not fun to do that, but also women above 45 for the child wish.
Yeah. Or a man of 60 with a child wish.
No.
Oh, yes.
Don't do it, guys. Not at 60. It's hard enough at 40.
I mean, especially for those women who really have that child desire, and it really feels a big pressure on our shoulders when we can find her a match for the biggest dream of her life.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And it's terrible. And then, I just personally don't want to go through that.
And so do you see like clients like heartbroken? You found them like what they think is the perfect match, and then suddenly that other person is just like, no, I'm not interested.
Oh, yes.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
How do you come back from that? How do you self repair, or did you let them go, or like do you try and find them someone else, or give them some hope?
We give them some times, like, or we freeze the contract for a while just to feel comfortable again, and then we continue, but not too fast after the breakup, because it's never gonna happen. No.
Okay.
But that's the most terrible thing of our job.
And it happens quite a lot. Yeah. There's like this
high expectation.
Moving in together, or even like people with children, if they have both children and they have to move in with like two families.
It's really difficult.
There are a lot of breakups after that, because then the kids cannot get along, for example, or don't respect the new woman. So it's quite a complicated puzzle.
Yeah.
It is. The more you're talking about
it is.
You think it's relatively straighthtroughd.
It's like a headhunter, I thought, but it's much more complicated.
Here you go. See you later.
No, really.
Well, a couple of just little questions now, just for sound bites. Which one shall we go with out of these three?
I think we should start with, I don't think you've probably answered this, but do you believe in first sight?
Love in first sight.
Okay, we have to answer that one separately, because we have a total different idea on that.
Nice.
That's interesting.
This is interesting.
Who's going first?
She.
I can go. I always say there has to be something. Like the moment he or she walks in, you know, I mean, you're not sure it's going to be like this healthy relationship, but you know if there's potentially a physical attraction, right? If you will like that person also physically. Because it works for me like that. It always have been working like that. But then you, Saron, has like...
I have like a total different experience, because actually the best relationships, or even the most precious relationships I had in the past, actually started off with a friendship. Like becoming friends, getting to know each other very good. And then all of a sudden, then there's something physical as well.
Right. Wait, no physical attraction from the start? No?
I like with one guy, I did have zero.
Okay.
I remember like sitting on the back of his scooter, like thinking, oh, hell no. Like, but we got like the strongest physical connection afterwards. Yeah. But it really became out of like a very strong emotional connection. We could level like on every aspect, and we did truly understand each other. And I really felt like very safe with him, because I could be like the truest version of myself, and he could do the same with me. At least I thought.
And now it's her ex-boyfriend.
That's what we.
So no guarantee.
No, but still, like I still feel the way that, and we do have a really different experience actually. Yeah. In that is that I still feel that I have to like have this like friendship connection with someone before I feel that I could also be sexual with someone.
Yeah.
Funny one, because I don't know. I mean, is there? I don't ask about ages. Is there a big age?
Exactly 7 years. We are born the same day.
Yeah.
The same day.
Yeah, no, really.
Both 20th of July.
It's a slight generational thing, because I think I would lean slightly to Lotte, but what you're saying resonates, but more when I was at high school, because you develop these relationships through the contact you have with girls.
Yeah.
At school, you get to know them, you go on dates, blah, blah, blah.
Did you have it straight away with Annie?
With Annie, I remember the exact moment.
Yeah.
Because actually when we were studying in Italy, and we had one of these Erasmus party buses, and we were going somewhere to Milan. And then I remember walking past her on the bus, so that was the first contact. We made eye contact, and right then.
Exactly.
That was it.
Yes, it's beautiful, right?
Before, I mean, I've had lots of girlfriends before, but that was the first time that had ever happened. And so I lean on Lotte on that one. What about you, Kev? Your wife's going to listen to this, so there better be a good story behind it.
No, I think I was besotted by this co-worker when I was in London, like about 20 years ago. And she started dating some of my colleagues, and I became more besotted, and I got quite depressed. And then suddenly I think something just kind of kicked, and she was like, smell my neck type thing. We're like out of the bar, and then things just started to kind of move. But it was quite fast. And then I don't really know what kind of happened there. We just kind of separated because she wanted to do different things, and into my career, but like London was just kind of chaos at that moment. But that was probably more like a lust, I would say, probably than love, you know. So and I was very young, so I was still trying to When I met my wife, it was just it was quite natural. Again, we met through work.
And do you remember what you felt when you saw her for the first time?
Again, I was very introverted. I wore my cap every day, and I had it out over my eyes. I was trying to avoid eye contact with everyone. We made a joke of this on our wedding day. Our vows was like, you know, it was like something cheesy. Like she made me lift my hat and sort of look at her basically in the eyes. Yeah. And then that's what we started with, that instant connection. Similar to you, actually.
But what did you feel when you first saw it? What did you feel? Was there?
There was definitely something there. I was kind of taken aback that she was interested in me, because I never really thought much of myself at that time. And the fact that she wanted to spend time with me, I really sort of like, it got me excited.
There was something, right? Yeah. So we had
maybe 3-1 on this one.
But the funny thing,
I still do believe in that. Yeah. I mean, I do believe. It just never happened to me before. Yeah. It never happened that I like immediately hit it off with someone that actually became a relationship. Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm still single. Yeah. So
but you have like love at first sight, which is like this amazing feeling, and in the end you're also a great fit on personality. That's really rare, right? Yeah. But you also have like nice, like something, like you see somebody like, okay, could be that feeling. I think that's what you need on a first date. But then you say it can also grow from friendship. Really? So we had a coffee just before our holidays 2 weeks ago with a client of us. And she went on 3 dates with another client of us, which is really nice. Yeah. And he really likes her and finds her really attractive. And she also likes him, but there's nothing really happening in her feeling. So we had like some kind of discussion about it, like, what should we do? Like, does she have to go on a 4th date or just continue, right? Like, if it's not coming, I said, okay, maybe, I really was not sure. Like, maybe we should quit it. And you said,
they should continue.
And then she texted me on holidays, like 1.5 weeks ago. We went on the 4th date and it clicked. I felt something. I was like, I had to tell Sharon this morning, like, you were right this time.
I was right.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
So the experience that both of you have. Yeah. The feelings that you have.
And it's no mathematics, right? So it's so personal. So you cannot have like the same advice for every person, because everybody works differently on an emotional level. So that makes it.
I think that like in there, we also put a little bit of our work. Yeah. Is that we actually met her for a coffee and we listened to her story. Like, why doesn't it work for you? Like, what do you miss with him? Yeah. And then when she came up with these answers, I told Lotte, like, we should call him and tell him what he needs to do. Because sometimes guys really just need to put on a paper, like, this is what you need to do. Like, you're very simple in that way. That's well, that's a good thing. You should, like, if you tell a guy you should wear this blue shirt, he will wear a blue shirt. Like, you are very easy in that matter. Sometimes maybe you're not, but he's like yes.
Like what I needed to do and when I needed to do it. Great. Like, you know, if I could just follow that, like, okay, not to a certain extent, right? When it comes to the creativity of my side of the industry, like, I get really passionate about that things, but when it's like down to more, you know, homely stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you just go. But I'm very conscious when I'm, you know, being married is like, look, you know, being there for my wife and making sure that we see each other, we go for dinner, and then I buy her flowers and, you know, get her presents and things like that. Well, just because I appreciate things that she does, and so that's really important. There was.
But that's actually like the tip that we gave him, like, go for it, because he was holding back because she was not giving him the feelings that he needed to proceed and to really go for it. So I said to Lotte, like, we should just tell him, like, one more time, like, that 4th date, it's now or nothing. Go for it. And well, he did. And
I'm
not sure what. I have to like, what did he organize? What was this?
But then what? I mean, I must have been, okay, I'm a headhunter, but I would do the same. Because you said you get the feedback from one, you get the feedback from the other, then you can tell one and the other, okay, this was quite right, this was right, and you help kind of guide them through. But that's, it make it so much easier back in the day.
Do you ever get any feedback from a client where they're like, oh, I just don't think he was right, and he said this during the day, and you're like, no, but that's not the type of person he is. He just said that because he was like anxious. Or
exactly. Yeah.
And you're trying to sort of say, look, please just go on another date with them, and maybe you'll listen up a little bit, or
Yes, that's really part of our job.
Also, like guys trying to, how can I say this the right way? Trying to like outdo themselves on that first date. So not really showing like really showing vulnerability, like not asking questions is also a big part of that. And then they come back after the first date and they say like, okay, I really saw a really different type of person that you described to me. Yeah. And then I already know like, okay, but then he really liked you, because when a guy really likes a girl, he gets shy and he gets clumsy and he says things that he doesn't want to say and then thinks, oh my God, what did I just do? But it's a good thing. So that's what I also tell them, like, please see him again, because it's a good thing. It's a good thing that he gets nervous around you, because then you do something with him.
And that's also the difficult part from our job, is that we always see the personal side of people, because we have an interview at their home place. We see pictures of their children and they open up to us. Yeah. But most of the time they don't do it on the first date. So right? And then this woman is like, okay, he was nice, but he didn't ask questions. He was just promoting his company and he was not vulnerable at all. Like, what did you see about him? And then I can tell, of course, the interview I had, but just tell him, like, open up to her next time. Go on the second date. Show yourself.
So are there a lot of multiple dates then with couples?
Yeah.
You need like 2 or 3 to break that
Yes.
barrier.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Many.
Yes.
4 to 6 maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
And is that something that's evolved with your business as well? I mean, how was it when you first started? I mean, how is that process been, and what have you learned?
Oh. Yeah, I can start. So it was the end of 2015. Yeah. Then I was working at the online marketing agency as a headhunter. I quit my job because I really wanted to have my own company. And I thought, like, if I can help finding a job, I can help them finding love. And I think love is the most beautiful thing on earth. That's why we're here. We're looking for connections. And it's like the most beautiful thing to make 2 people happy in love, that they have a baby and they get a marriage and everything. So it was like a company started from passion, so really from the heart. So then I think within 3 months, I wrote a business plan and then I built a website and I thought, let's start. And I thought, like, if I start with 10 interviews a week, I had like because I was single at that time, so I had a big network, and I thought, like, they all want to have a coffee with me, right? Yeah. Just to have a chat free of charge. So I thought, like, 10 intakes or interviews a week. If I do this for 10 weeks, I have a database of 100 people and I can do my matchmaking. Right. It doesn't work like that. Because you need a much bigger database. 100 is not enough. Really? And besides, it's lots of work, right? Doing the interview 1.5 hours, writing a personal profile, edit in the CRM system, making the matches. And I had no experience, so I was just trying, making reservations at restaurants, doing evaluations after the date, some coaching. I had to do my marketing and PR, so I was just running in bars in Amsterdam to put my name in the toilets. On the wall.
And that's flyers everywhere.
And at the end of the evening, I saw it lying on the ground. I was so disappointed.
Into the guy's urinal and having an eyesight while they're doing it.
Yeah.
Looking for love. Oh, water. No.
It was just like if people were walking over it. It was just on the ground. I thought, like, this doesn't work. So I think it took me maybe 2 years to build a database. Yeah, and to become much better in creating matches, because you learn from matches. Like at first, because I really like people. Now I always see the beauty in people. So I thought, like, okay, this is a nice person. Oh, he's a nice person. They have to go on a date. And then the feedback was, okay, really nice, but not attractive at all. Or I don't feel it, or there's no chemistry. I was like, oh my God, this is so difficult. Yeah, this is really difficult. So that's how I started.
But now it's all smooth sailing, of course.
No, I think no, it's not. But we became better at it. I mean, the matches are much better. Yeah. And I think a good part is that I think the first years, women mostly attended. So for women to take the step to hire a matchmaker to find love, it was okay. But for men to hire a matchmaker,
you felt embarrassed.
Yes. a lot.
Is that still the case?
No, that's changed. I think now for about 2 years, 1.5 years, that it's
COVID did a lot of that.
Yeah.
What did COVID do to accelerate that change? That why the guys all of a sudden?
Yeah, I think several reasons, but one of it is that the nice women left the dating apps. So the men are still there and thinking like, where are the nice women?
Yeah.
Where else can we find them?
Yeah.
People are fed up of swiping and like the inchargeable nature, the lack of seriousness, also pictures and information is not accurate, like old pictures. People forget to mention that they have children, for example. I mean,
That
if you're a father...
20 kilos heavier.
The head's a little different.
Yeah.
And I think that the most, like the argument is that there's too much choice. Like if you're in a supermarket and you can choose from like 40 chocolate bars, you don't know which one you should choose. So it's also with dating apps. People keep on swiping like, oh, is this nice? Oh, maybe the next one is even better. I go on a date with this one. Oh, but maybe there's something more beautiful. And people are so fed up of not choosing, like trying everything all together. And I think we do the opposite because people go on a date with us just one by one. We never introduce more profiles at the same time.
No.
Just go on a date and focus. Yeah. If it's not your match, we keep on searching, but never go on several dates.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think what COVID did in there is that we actually felt the need of connection with people. Because of COVID, we were like shut down and we couldn't hug people. We couldn't go to bars. We couldn't go to festivals. Yeah. We could go to the supermarket, but then with this stupid mask over our mouth. We really missed this connection making with people. And I think that was, for our business, that was really quite good.
Nice. So you don't struggle to find men anymore?
No.
So I remember you spoke to us a few years ago.
Yeah. Always looking for men. Like, do you have friends? Business clubs everywhere.
I mean, you're still very welcome. Not that they're now listening and that they're like, oh, they're fed up with men. No.
They're always welcome.
Yes.
And then, so we've got some more actual questions here. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking that this one, sexual dysfunction. I don't know if this is when you do the intakes, does it go that detailed sometimes with the men and the women about even what they're looking for on the sexual side?
No.
Yeah. We have a few clients who have very much. They're very into tantra, for example.
Oh yeah, die bedoel je.
Oh really?
Yeah, we have a few. And I mean, that's also very sexually based on what they're looking for in a partner.
We had this coffee with him at his home at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we were talking.
And we had like this tantra lesson.
And everything.
A woman has like 8 G-spots.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
No,
we're like, okay.
Google where. Like where then?
So we said like, can we have one more coffee, please? So we learn a lot. I know, really. I came home. Bas was there. I was like, oh my God, I learned a lot.
You still need to find the other 7.
I'm not sure in this episode. There's only one. Maybe only ever told of one. Maybe we can do a diagram that goes with the podcast on this one for people who want to download that.
But I think during the process, we get many times feedback also from sexual experiences of our clients.
Yep.
And most of the time when it doesn't work out. So that's a difficult part because they tell us like how, we call a lot with our clients. So then of course we ask how it's going and are you intimate with each other? And then this whole story comes. And sometimes
we're actually like their bestest friends in that way.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? I mean, that's very personal, very intimate. I mean,
I really try to help, just to put a mirror, but you cannot go to the other person like, oh, guess what I heard from you? No, of course not. So, but we hear a lot of information from our clients. And I think the sexual part, especially older men, like 60 plus, or older men, senior men, they always, during the first interview, talk about sex. And I think the reason for that is that they really missed it in their long relationship. Oh. I think it's almost like the third thing they tell, like, I'm really looking for sexual connection as well.
Yeah, but that's important for men, right? I mean,
exactly.
That's important by all accounts.
For women too, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that difficult then for finding also women at that age?
No.
Also...
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also, I mean, we have DCNG, but we also have Infinity Relations. And at Infinity Relations, we work with more international clients. So also coming from Latin America. Well, you can imagine that those guys are very passionate. So you really have to find someone that is like...
So you're not putting with someone from Eastern Europe?
It could be.
Yeah, we tried.
That didn't work out. No, but I mean, for them, that's also a really big part of their nature. Yeah. So it's for them very common just to talk about it.
So how did they find out about you? Did you reach out to, are you doing some PR over there? Or?
Yeah.
Or are they based here? Or?
Yeah, we focus on expats living in the Netherlands or successful Dutch people who travel the world. So we did lots of PR and marketing, and we do still Google AdWords, Instagram, vlogs on Instagram, LinkedIn campaigns.
Yeah. We're actually, I think, the only agency in the Netherlands that actually also focuses on expats. Yeah. And we do have a lot of expats. I thought so too. But
more and more
I heard from some clients that when I asked, like, how did you find us in our first interview? And then they say, like, yeah, well, I Googled for expat matchmaking. You are actually the only one doing it.
It's correct, yeah.
Well, nice
exactly. That's why we thought we have to start a company in this area.
And that was 3 years ago, and that's now going very good.
Yeah, and we have all nationalities like Canadian, Italian, Spanish, South African, Asian, Mexican. Canada, we also said. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's really nice, yeah.
But you don't matchmake for people who are living in Ibiza or in different countries?
That's one of our ambitions, that we really would like to work across Europe, to do the interview in the south of France or on Ibiza, and to start looking in that area, but also internationally.
Is this Infinity Relations? Or is
yes. Yeah. So DTNG is really the Dutch market, Infinity Relations, expats in Netherlands, or Dutch people who travel the world.
International.
Yeah, more like, quote, 500 men who are very successful, have their own plane and just move on all the time. And they want us to do the search.
Take on a plane?
Not yet.
It's simple. You can come on a plane. Don't worry.
We would like to.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ambition. Yes, of course. We got an application from a guy in Singapore a few weeks ago. Yeah. And we did a proposal to go there, to do the interview there. So that's also something that we're very open to.
And he's really specific. What he's looking for is a girl from Luxembourg or Portugal,
because he wants to live in.
That's two very different places.
Yes. So it's interesting.
He wants to live there, so he's looking for a visa.
No. Just wants someone to settle down with, and it could be like very easy when she is in one of those countries, because then she's already there. So yeah.
That's a nice way of broadening the business, actually. Yeah. I mean, how is the competition?
There are much more matchmaking agencies. I think last years, there are more and more coming, because it's quite easy to start. I mean, you need a website. You think, okay, I can just start with an interview like I did in the past. But then we see like lots of matchmaking agencies leaving again, because it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult to build a network and to have like a niche group of people you can match. I think we are still doing well if I look at the market. I mean,
you have built the trust as well. I mean, there's a huge element.
Yes, for sure.
For years now.
For sure. Yeah.
So and do you get like word of mouth business as well?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah?
Yes.
Those are the best though.
Yeah.
Because why is that invitations?
Yeah, because people are like telling about us to their colleagues or their friends or their neighbors, because they actually found someone through us.
Yeah.
So the part of explaining someone like what we do and how is it beneficial in your life, we can just skip that part because they already saw it.
Yeah.
So those are actually the best clients that we can get.
Just that immediate trust.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
can almost skip like the whole intake. They're just
they see love, right? Yeah. I've been on 2 weddings this year already. From 60 plus old clients.
The 30-years not getting married anymore.
No, they get babies.
They get babies. But that's the thing in the Netherlands. That's the one thing I found in the Netherlands. I mean, if I look at my network alone, there's very few who are married.
Exactly.
They have kids.
Yeah.
They don't even share, like the women don't even share their surname with their children.
Exactly.
It's like they just, I don't know if there's like the institution of marriage is seen as a bit of a failure.
Because like the breakup rate is so high that people don't believe in it anymore?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Like, what is the added value when you already have children? Why should you marry? Because most of the time the woman is working as well. So the women don't need the men for their income anymore. So it's just like
It's a romantic part.
It's like a romantic part, but Yeah.
I think it's a celebration, right? It's a commitment to one another as well. And I like the fact, of course, my kids have the same surname as Annie does. I think that's important as well. But
it's
okay. And how was the dating landscape how was it changing? How are attitudes changing towards kind of...
How do you mean?
I'm trying to think how it's all kind of...
Yeah, I guess you know how you were saying that, like it's how much COVID pandemic and apps and people just craving to get out there and just have that sort of human touch. How do you feel that the landscape is going to develop over the next, say, 5 to 10 years? Like, do you think we're going to see it's just going to continue as it is?
No.
There going to be more apps that come out? Is there going to be more agencies?
Maybe there's going to be more artificial intelligence.
Well, we've been talking about this quite a lot last year, I think, is that there's a whole generation Z coming, and they see romance and dating and love in a very different way than we do. Also me. But I mean, they don't really believe in a monogamous relationship, or they do, I don't know, connect with people coming from different cultures and different backgrounds, same sexes, not even pronouncing themselves as a her or a he. I mean, it's not a hype. It's like a new way of living. And I think we have to really get adjusted to that, because our service is still really built on the monogamous relationship between a man and a woman. And even though we're saying like we don't match a woman who wants a guy would be like 10 years younger, I think in a few years that will become very normal, because people are more looking at their authentic selves and what kind of person fits in their life. And it could be someone that's like 10 years younger very easily, because things are really changing.
And you guys don't do same sex.
Yeah, but that's still an ambition.
We actually joked about
DT and gay. Data and gay.
Data and gay.
Data and gay. But that's not something that's...
Yeah, but I think then we have to hire a gay matchmaker.
Yes, you have to.
Because we are not in that market.
No.
And for me to predict if two gay people are attracted to each other, I'm not sure if I can do that.
No.
If I look, for example, B&B Vol Liefde, the program on Dutch television, right? And there's this gay couple, and then all these men are coming to his bed and breakfast. And then it's funny, because I think, like, should I match those two guys? And then on the physical aspect, I have too many doubts. Yeah. I cannot tell if they are physically attracted to each other. And with hetero people, I can.
But still, at B&B Vol Liefde, I don't know. Oh my God.
It's good to have the ambition, right?
Yeah.
All right then. So we're all entrepreneurs at the table. Kev has run his business, I run my business, and obviously you two have set up DTNG and Infinite Relations. So beyond the craft, we want to also understand the kind of the lessons that you've learned over the years that you've had this business. The do's and the don'ts. I mean, I've obviously had a couple of business partners that haven't gone quite right, for example, and you learn from these experiences. But is there anything that you would want to share with the listeners that you want to get off your chest?
Of course. I think when DTNG was like 3 years old, I started working with a business partner. Okay. And she was a friend of mine, and she became 50% owner of the company, and which started as a fairy tale, ended as a difficult breakup. Wow. It was really sad, and especially I lost a friend and a business partner. So it was really a really hard period, because it was also very personal. And I will never point my finger at her, because when there's an argument, you are both responsible for the argument, or you share the blame. But if I look back, I think it's all about communication and expectations. Right. And I think in those days we thought we were communicating well, but if I look back, I think we didn't. So I think we were like two captains on a ship. Yeah. And we didn't talk enough about expectations, like the position we had in the company, what we liked from each other. So if there's something or something small, you have to speak up, right?
You have to address it there.
Exactly. So that was a big lesson. And if I'm look in retrospect, I mean, it's of course years later. Now I can see it also for myself as a personal growth, because when she left, I was by myself again. And at that time we were with a team of 8 matchmakers and she was doing the PR and marketing. So I had to do it myself. And in the past I was quite shy. So for me to step up and to step into that spotlight, I, as a person, I've been growing a lot because I had to do the interviews for the magazines and for the newspapers. I was even a matchmaking expert in Married at First Sight on television. Right. To see myself on a big screen on television,
it's great. It's an accomplishment you should be proud of, right? I mean, that's quite a transformation.
I'm much more confident, right? It was a really bad experience at that time, but if I look back, it also gave me opportunities to grow as a person. So sometimes it's not even bad to have bad experiences. We are all okay together, and she has her own business right now, and she's doing well. So
that's good.
So that was a lesson.
But where did that confidence come from then? I mean, it's quite it's a hard thing to put yourself out there. I mean, was there anybody that helped you with that? Did you lean on anybody? Was there somebody kind of pushing you a little bit to kind of make that step up, or was it just a realization that I
felt like naked on a podium, right? Like the whole team was looking at me like, what's she gonna do?
What's she gonna do?
I had like quite a big team, lots of clients, and I mean, we had to move on, right? Yeah. So I pushed myself, I think.
Have you used any business coaches, or have any of the two of you used any?
Psychologists, personal coaches, many in the past,
And you feel they've been of beneficial
a lot
to you?
Yeah, a lot,
Yeah, that's something I work with as well. I've had a business coach. Kevin and I have a communication coach.
Really?
Actually,
Actually, when we started the podcast. Well, actually, it was a little bit after we started the podcast, and I had been in touch with a Japanese lady who lives in Barcelona, and she's a sort of like, just a speech coach, and I just wanted more confidence in how I started talking. It's not until it's like what you said about being on TV, and then you notice all these little traits and attributes about yourself that you just never picked up before.
Exactly.
And so it's the same with like doing the podcast. Like there's little, just things like the way you sort of laugh, or the little tics that you have, or the little like pauses that you take, and you just analyze them like all the time. Because nobody else cares, like but you. But I think it just, whatever helps you start mentally, you just need to unlock. And it's what you were saying about failing. And I think it's a cliche, but you have to fail before you can get to the next place. Like, you feel it. It's like life is just like these little walls that you overcome, and every time you're just getting stronger. You've got bigger experiences. And
you get like positive response. So you think, okay, I'm not that bad, okay, it's looking okay. And every time you dare a little bit more. Yeah,
but you create trust in yourself as well.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's something that we probably all lack. Maybe we all have imposter syndrome or something like this, but you can actually, you've proven to yourself, you can do it. So there's no barriers for you.
No, and also to look back also into your own past, your childhood, like where are some patterns come from?
That's quite hard. You work with your dad. I mean,
I know. No, but really, when I started, because I wrote my business plan with my father. So we moved to weekends to Bergen, a small town, to write a business plan. And I think when I started with D10G, I still looked up to him, because also in the past, as a child, he was really my rock and like my superstar when I was a small child. Yeah. And then during my work also with him, because he's still a matchmaker, it became much more equal. And I can tell him, like, maybe you should do this. And in the past, it was like he was telling me, maybe you should do this. So it really turned around.
Shift in dynamics.
It's really funny.
But it's a very respectful relationship there.
It is. We can tell each other everything. Yeah.
That's nice.
And I think also when in this time with the breakup of my ex-business partner, in that time I met Saron. And I think I was quite a long time maybe a little bit scared to do it again, to work with a business partner again, to have maybe the same experience, because you can win a lot, but you can lose a lot as well. And you felt it, right?
Yeah, I did. And it was actually like an internal struggle for me as well, because we got to know each other when I was working for a different matchmaking agency. And I mean, I'm quite young. I started entrepreneuring when I was 27, I think. Wow. And I did everything myself. I didn't have any parents or helping me or supporting me. I always felt like I want to do something for myself. And now they see the beneficial of that, and that I always wanted to do that, but I never felt that really like supported. So I always had like this very internal goal where, and I still do have that, by the way, but back then when I met Lotte, I was like, my goal was I want to work with her. I mean, I didn't even know her, and now we know each other like the best ever, and we are like best friends and companions. But back then I really looked up to her because she was older and she was more experienced, and I always told myself like, someday I'm going to be her. So she was like my example back in the days. And when I started working at DTNG, like there was actually a month before you split it up with your ex companion. And I always told myself, no. No, I wanted to be that. And now she's never going to do that anymore. So I really felt like, okay, what now? Because I had that goal. And if I do want to have something, I am going for it. Yeah. So I just told myself, I'm going to make myself so unmissable to her that she must come to me with the idea, like, I can't do this without you. We should work together. And it actually happened, I think, a year later, that you asked me, like, do you want to work full-time with me? Yeah. And not only as a matchmaker, but also, like, spreading our ideas over marketing, PR. I'm kind of creative, so I love to do this kind of thing. So, and then I felt like, okay, maybe I should just like keep on doing what I'm doing. And I was working very hard. I had over 40 clients at the same time for DTNG. I was working every day, every night. Sometimes clients emailed me back at 12 in the night, like, oh, you're still working? I'm like, no, I should be at that right now. But I was so driven of, okay, I want to be so unmissable in this company that she sees me. Wow. And well, that happened. Here we are. Here we are.
Really accomplished that then. And did you notice that, I suppose?
You told me later on. Yeah.
I never wanted to tell her because I really want to have her to feel the way. Like, I really do want to do it with you, because I could totally imagine that for her was such a big step to do this again. So she really
coming out of
had to trust me, but not only on me saying like, hey, I'm trustworthy, because I am. She needed to feel that. Yeah. So I was driven to make you feel that way. Yeah. And I remember that even boss told you, like, she's gold, you should never let her go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is our love story.
That is right. You had a breakup. There was some downtime.
Like when I go for something, like I just don't know. Yeah,
she's like a tiger.
Yeah, but that's also a thing. Like I'm young and I'm really tiny and I really look very young. So I always had to like struggle with like competing with people who look older, who are older or more like
or taller.
Yeah, taller, for example. But also
to be taken seriously or just really? Okay.
Yes, I even had some clients that at first they didn't take me seriously as their matchmaker because they had kids and have been married and I didn't. And I was like, yeah, but your hairdresser, she can also be younger than you are, but she's still very good in cutting your hair. Yeah. So why can't I do my job?
Oh, wow, by ageism.
For a long time.
For a long time. Yeah. And sometimes it still does a little bit.
When you're doing an interview, there are like within 5 minutes.
5 minutes, you know, okay, she knows what she's doing.
She knows her shit.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Well, there's an interesting one then, work-life balance. I mean, you talk about doing emails at 12 o'clock.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Okay. No, I think I'm very strict now on my time.
Okay.
And the fun thing in that is that my clients actually know. Yeah. So they know they can't call me before 9 in the morning and they don't call me after 8 in the evening. They don't have to call me or email. Yeah, they can email me, but don't in the weekends because I just won't pick up. I really have my some office hours for myself built in because I love my job. Yeah. And I can do my job always. And I actually take my job on my holiday. Because I love to go on a travel with my laptop and be like this digital nomad and like arrange dates from Mallorca or Corfu or whatever I've been to. Yeah. I just need some Wi-Fi and a phone and my laptop and that's it.
And then you're done.
But that also makes the barrier between life and work very thin. Yeah. Because I love to call my clients. I love when I'm, for example, on a terrace in Mallorca with a glass of wine and then talking for half an hour about dates with my clients because they're my age. So I can very good interact with them. But that also makes it sometimes very easy to cross your barriers.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I really had to teach my clients, and the clients that I do now have, they know because I build it myself, is that I am also, this is also my work. So I am sometimes an office and I have office hours.
Yeah.
I'm not always reachable.
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned through the years because, like I said, that wasn't the case.
No.
Yeah, and that's also maybe the hard part also to understand from our clients.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both very informal and we talk about emotions with our clients. So Bas told me lately, he said like, when you're on the phone with a client, it looks like it's your best friend you're talking to. So that's like we're with all the clients, we talk about their whole love life, which is
they
quite...
also know mine.
Yeah, so that they become really
But it's
close.
a trust again. It's building that relationship, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to let them in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then it was earlier this year or last year, you also did a singles trip, right? You've done, have you not done a couple? You've done, did you do a winter?
We did some drinks, but there was one single trip to Bone.
And we were going to do the winter sport as well, but that was just too late.
Yeah.
Like everything was booked and it just wasn't reachable. And we had like...
And it's quite an organization to organize.
I can imagine,
But this single trip to Bone was really
amazing.
like one to remember.
Yes. Oh my God.
For good things, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And so what happens on these singles trip then? Is this an exclusive invite to certain people within your clients?
We invited, of course, we made a flyer and we put it on our website. Yeah. But it was for entrepreneurs who are single. So not for us to make the matches in advance, but just for singles who have a company. Mm-hmm. So they share already like the entrepreneurship. They like to drink wine because we went on a wine trip.
Nice.
We did a balloon ride. We went on a golfing day. And all about wine drinking, dinner, pub quizzes, question games. Yeah. And the funny thing is because we were part of it and we asked the group every time, like, do you like us to join again, also for dinner and drinks, or do you like to stay with the group? And they all said like, no, please join. It's nice when you're attending. Yeah. And for us to observe the dynamic between people, that was really, because we're never go on a date with our clients. I mean, so you want to join.
Now you're really in the mix of it as well.
You were in between and you saw like, okay, something happening here. You could ask some questions like maybe you should sit next to that person.
Sometimes we arrange that because we also did some table shifting. Table shifting.
Yeah, and the funny thing, like a client of mine, a man who has like a real perspective what he liked. Blonde, slim, tall. That was his type of woman.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. And then he fell in love with a beautiful Asian woman who was attending to the group. Like after a few days, he was like, oh, I really like her. Yeah. She's so special. And
she's like
the way
she
the way she talked.
So he went the complete 180.
Like the complete other type.
Was it all the red wine or no?
No, also maybe little.
Well, not enough red wine for her because she didn't like him back.
Oh. No, but is that one of the success stories that came out of there then?
No, but more for us to see that even if you have a type, you can really fall for a person, right?
It's really energy. Yeah. It's energy. Yeah.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, definitely.
We did have a little love story in there.
Yeah.
That didn't last it, so.
Oh, that's a pity.
You want to do it again. I mean, we really enjoyed it. I never smiled for 8 hours in a row. After the way back, like she was sleeping because she couldn't be. I did drive the whole way from France to the Netherlands, which was like 8 hours, and she tried, but she was so sleepy. I'm like, yeah, you go to sleep. But I mean, I had so much energy because I felt so happy.
7 years younger, right?
7, that's it.
We
just want to go to bed. What's that? It's 10:30. See ya.
Yeah, but I mean, you can say that, but especially the 6 years on the group,
they can drink. Oh my God,
they drink.
But they're old school.
Yeah, and they're like up at 8 in the morning, like with their coffee.
No hangover.
No. And we were like, oh my gosh, do we need to do it again? Oh wait, we organize this. Okay, we should. We should get out of bed lots. Come on, we should.
But are you going to organize another one then? Is there something in the pipeline?
Want to. Yeah.
What's the plans for that one then? Or
we don't have a plan yet.
Maybe the same. Maybe doing this one more time.
But a little bigger group.
Yeah,
like
reframe it a
people.
little bit, like getting the feedback of the first trip into our hands. And like, I mean, we already have now all the restaurants. Yeah. They all wanted to have us back. Even the hotel where we slept was
really?
very, they were very happy to have us back. So maybe... Because
and
we
also,
know the area.
It's all about expectations. I think also to get clear straight away that we don't make the matches in advance. It's just a group of singles who have a company. Because,
just fun.
Exactly. Because that was
don't expect love.
Exactly.
So why some people went in there really.
There was one person who expected more.
All right, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the fine details are going to be tuned a little bit for the next singles trip.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
But it was so much fun. I mean, remember that we were sitting in the car back and then we just said to each other, like, could we have ever imagined that we were actually on France twice because we had to explore?
Yeah, you had to, of
We
course.
had to taste all the restaurants.
We had to taste all the restaurants, or drink all
It's
the
like
wine.
you're planning a wedding.
We went to go on like this balloon ride. We had like exclusive lunches. You went for golf. I went to go in the city with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
We had like a full-on paid holiday, and we even got paid for it.
We need to do a Beyond the Craft getaway.
Sounds great.
I mean, that was like so. We even got gifts from the people that were like on the trip. They gave us gifts afterwards to thank us for this.
To the restaurant.
It was crazy.
It was
It was so amazing.
Such an experience.
We need to do a podcast around a beach somewhere, somewhere exotic, and just get some
Oh, you
clients.
can come to Bloemendaal or Zandvoort. That's where I live.
Oh, we should do that when it's sunny the next time, right?
What was the ratio from male to female? Did you make sure it was even, or was it like
Or did you create FOMO so you had like more males? And
No, equal.
equal?
Okay.
I think
That's important.
5-6.
Yeah, 5-6.
We went for 6-6, but one left.
And did anybody kind of sneak away with each other? Was there a little bit of that old school kind of behind the bike sheds?
It wasn't sneaky.
It wasn't sneaky.
No.
Kissing in the back of the taxi.
Kissing in the back of a taxi. I hope there was nobody sitting in between them when it was happening.
Just in front.
Just in front. Oh man, that's,
No, it wasn't sneaky, but it was good.
No, okay. We certainly had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we just got a couple more questions then. So I think it's good for people. We have these kind of like ending questions that we'll ask you in a second. But for your business then, for people who are interested, so how does it work? You spoke earlier. You've had a subscription model. You have one, or is it people just pay like a retainer to you guys and they work for like exclusively for a year?
No, we still do the interviews or the intakes free of charge. So that's free. And when I started, I had a subscription model of €55 a month. But that didn't work out because you cannot send an invoice if somebody's not going on a date that month. That's crazy. Like you get an invoice, but you didn't have a date.
You didn't have anything.
Yeah. And besides €55, that doesn't generate enough revenue. I mean, then you don't earn anything, right? No. So now we have the interview free of charge, and then they pay the full amount upfront.
Okay. And the full amount covers what
everything.
Exactly?
So photo shoot, 6, 9 or 12 months contract.
Yeah.
And you have approximately like 1 date a month.
Yeah.
We organize the day to do the evaluation, coaching, face-to-face feedback rounds also with us.
Yeah. Okay.
Photo shoot, of course.
And the pricing for that, is that something you're willing to disclose, or is that something that's just based on the individual and what?
No, it's on the website. So it's between like 8 and 15,000.
Depending on whether it's 6, 9
or 12 months.
Well, we actually upgraded that a little bit because
inflation.
No, because we do have some clients that need like this very exclusive service. Sometimes when we feel like someone needs more of what we normally provide, like time-wise or location-wise, that we also do. Like, for example, like from the guy from Singapore, we do the intakes on location, but then, for example, in Portugal or Luxembourg. So you can imagine that that's kind of pricey. So the client pays for that. And then we see like what the client needs from us. We make like this whole calculation, thank you, on what like we can provide and what the costs, but that's very personal. So, but it can get more than that.
I can imagine. I'm not going to be single for a while. Well, we've got a few ending questions.
Well, we're just going to ask, just as a sort of end of call memo, like how can people find out more about you? Where can they go? Like, is there any other further details you'd like to share or anything you'd like the listeners to know?
Yeah.
What's your website? Like,
of course. We have 2 websites. So for the Dutch market, it's dtng.nl. And for the expats and the Dutch international singles, it's infinityrelations.nl.
Yeah.
And anybody else, of course, because now you have one person in Singapore. Yeah. There's no harm in taking anybody else from the UK, for example.
Yeah, for example.
They
can come from everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
And maybe we can
social media. So you can follow us on Instagram, Infinity Relations, just to each other, I think. And dtng.matchmaking, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think we'll include all the links in the posted social media.
And maybe we can pitch a client just very shortly.
Oh, sure.
Here we go.
Now we have this very successful entrepreneur who lives in Amsterdam and who has a dream. So within 2 years, he wants to sail the world with his catamaran, like a big sailing ship.
Nice.
And he likes to find a woman who can attend. So of course, she cannot have like small kids who have to go to school, or he really likes a feminine, slim woman.
Yeah.
How do you say? More like from the soft area, so not like a lawyer, like a very warm, caring woman.
Yeah.
Not corporate.
No corporate.
No.
He doesn't like corporate.
No.
Okay.
And who has like the flexibility and ambition to go with him on that ship. Yeah. And then he wants to just sail the world, and he wants every time to fly in friends and family. So they can just sail for a few weeks with him. Maybe we as well, if we find the love of his life.
Did you put this in the contract now?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen if we find his love.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Okay.
He's 60, but
He's
he
60,
likes a little younger. He looks younger. Of course,
younger,
not too young, but a really feminine beauty.
Yeah.
Does this woman also need to be able to sail?
No, because that's his area. He can learn her everything.
Okay.
But she needs to have like this flexible, adventurous mindset.
So, okay. All right. Interesting. And so, well, if anybody fits the bill, let us know.
Yeah,
this would be something to report back on in a year or
Keep
two.
us posted.
Yeah, they can email us.
We'll do more on the podcast. Sounds good. And then we have just a catalogue of sort of questions that we'd like to ask you just for bite size socials that we can kind of use just on different platforms. And so
I think
where should we start?
I think maybe these four.
These four?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but these are just little things about you. Which one you want to start with?
We can start easy, which is a book that you would recommend.
I know a Dutch one.
Go for it.
Jan Geurts, Verslaafd aan Liefde.
Yeah.
Verslaafd. Is that a slave to love?
It's addicted to love.
Addicted to love.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's the Bible of really getting in touch with who you are before you can connect to someone else, because we normally go to someone else to fix our pains and to fix our damages and to feel complete.
Yeah.
But this book really helps you to find out like who is the authentic me and what do I provide in this relationship. So I actually read it twice, and I even told about this in a podcast before, because I really could recommend everybody this book. Yeah.
All right, that's one for the Dutch listeners. Yeah. And Lotte?
Yeah, I remembered. I forgot the name. Like the four loves in your life. The three loves in your life from Kate Ross. That's really interesting. And of course, a classic one, Hannah Kuppe, Liefdesbang. And that's about
love is scary.
Yeah. Wat hechtingsproblematiek in het Engels? Like how you are. What is your?
I know what you mean. Your attachment styles.
Attachment styles.
Yes.
Attachment styles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really interesting fact on our job is to match people who have like a good combination of attachment styles.
Yeah.
They don't mix like the anxious attachment to the denying the attachment styles to each other, because that won't.
And many people struggle with this, especially clients of us.
Okay.
Yeah, from like bad experiences in relationships or from their childhood.
Yeah.
So you can really, when you read this book, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
Nice. And what was the name of that book again?
Hannah Kuppe, Liefdesbang.
Liefdesbang.
Again, we can put links to the...
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
And the three loves of your life, that's about karmic partners, twin flame soulmates. Yeah. So it's more the spiritual...
beautiful book.
Really beautiful book. Yeah.
Gonna have to check that one out, because the other two are in Dutch. So that's not going to work for me. I might get them for the wife.
Maybe it's translated.
Maybe it's translated. Should check it out. Yeah. Okay, then. And then another one, different from the book. Recommend a film.
Okay, classic one, which is more fun, of course. Hitch. Everybody knows.
With Will Smith.
Oh, I loved it. Especially when I started. That's amazing, right?
That is an old one. Not expecting that.
I really loved it.
It's a great film. I love Kevin James. It's brilliant. Like I used to be a massive, what was it, Queen of...
King of Queens or something
King of
like that.
Queens. Yeah, I used to love
really
that
have to
program.
see
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking about the movies because I did recently see a movie and I was thinking like everybody should see this, but
I always forget those names.
me too.
Even I think.
We can move on to the next question. It might come to mind.
Might
come to mind, yeah.
Recommend a song.
Jezus,
Like a reset song, perhaps.
Oh.
You know, something that gets you like, I don't know, like just resets your mind that you go to and you just love.
Because we like music, so I have music I listen to that puts me in a certain frame of mind when I'm about to carry out research or something like this. Or like Kev says, you have one that you put on, you've had a shitty day. It's that's the one.
Well, I don't have like one song. I just have a really big country music playlist.
So didn't expect this, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
It's not expecting that.
country music, it's like really
romantic
storytelling, and you can sometimes really rely to the songs that they.
That's true about
write.
country music.
Yeah.
A lot of them they sing about margaritas though and
I
getting on their boats.
never listen to country music, never.
My mum listens to it.
It's not
a lot.
only about trucks and
No, it's
booze
true.
and it's really sometimes it's really deep and there's a really good story in there. So
And have you got a particular country music song?
I think Straight Line from Keith Urban is really good. It also tells a really great story.
Gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
really
we
good.
put it on the jingle.
Yeah, you
If we
could.
can get the rights for that.
And I think I like a little bit more electronic music.
Okay, yeah.
For example, Lost Frequencies. I really like their songs.
All right.
So we're also very different in that part.
Try to imagine a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
Oh yeah.
Do you do the line dancing as well? Or?
I could have. Yeah. I did once do it because I had to, from dancing, I did something with Footloose. So I had to teach it. It was really nice though.
Nice.
It's really difficult. It looks really easy, but it's not.
It looks easy.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one bonus question? Because I'm really curious about this one.
Sure.
So, very, very different one. What would be the title of the book be if your worst enemy wrote it? So, your worst enemy has wrote a book about you.
Okay.
About
What
me.
what would they name it?
Sauron. That's the easy one.
Just enough impact. The name alone.
Somebody who hates you, like
Your worst enemy.
Your worst enemy. Yeah, it would be what is the name for it? Arrogant Lotte.
Arrogant Lotte.
Sometimes I heard that people think that they don't know me, that I'm like I look down to people, or that I find myself really
You think
good.
really highly
Aloof.
about
And
yourself.
it's like the opposite, but like
Yeah.
if like my enemy would write it, maybe that would be the title. Yeah.
Arrogant
Maybe the
Lotte.
devil wears flip flops.
The devil wears flip-flops. Could be a good one as well, actually.
That's a good one.
Arrogant Lotte or the devil wears flip-flops. There we go. I like that. Nice. All right, I think that's...
Yeah,
That's
I
a
did-
wrap?
Yeah,
Or-
there's just one more
Oh.
thing that I just
Okay.
wanted to
Oh,
ask,
sorry, bonus.
Just as like, you know, people out there kind of listening are thinking about, you know, coming to you guys for help, advice. Like, what would be one bit of advice or a tip or a trick that you could kind of give that people could kind of take into a date that they could use?
One key.
Yeah,
Just
just
one thing
get
you
to
say.
know the person in front of you. Don't judge too soon or too quick. Just really be open to get to know that person. Like how we are open in interviews because it's our client, of course. But just really be curious. Then you get like the true story of somebody, and most of the time you get to like the person.
Yeah, I was listening to
People judge really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, not my type, or I don't like it, or weird shoes, or whatever. But really get to know the person in front of you.
And also, love does never work out the same way, because I think what people also tend to do is that once they have this formula in their head, like, okay, in 3 times, when I see someone in 3 times, I feel sexually attracted to someone. So then they meet someone new, and then after that 3rd time, they click, but she doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Then she shuts it down, because normally I always feel
I
that
see.
way.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
So it's just not going to work out. But sometimes it does work out. I mean, for example, the client that we just
The
talked
4th
about.
date.
Yeah.
The 4th date.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works differently, and you have to push yourself through that barrier just to be open about the idea that it can still come.
Nice. What were you saying? You were saying you saw a podcast. I listened to a podcast.
No, I was listening to a podcast. It was about the ex-founder of Netflix, completely different. But he was like, if you've got an idea and you're unsure whether it's going to be successful or not, just throw it at the wall and get immediate kind of feedback. So basically, if somebody is trying to sell a business where they think it'd be a good idea for them to share clothes, for example, immediately just put a sign in your door which says, would you like to share clothes, or would you like to borrow some of my clothes? And then you'll immediately get a reaction as to if somebody leaves feedback as in yes or no. If you get a big reaction, then you're onto something. But then if nobody says yes, then basically it's not going to work. So, so you can just put something out quite quickly. I thought that was
that's a good thing. Interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, well, that's us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Simone and
It was
Lotte.
really lovely.
Pleasure having you. First ever guests. We'll have you back in a year when we're better.
bit more refined.
A bit more refined. Not cables and microphones lying all over the place. And
then there was no sound.
And then there was no sound. Exactly. We're just going to have
laughing all the time.
57 minutes of voices coming and going. There we go. Right now. Perfect.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Wrap.
Thank you.